Hi, oh my gosh, it's so nice to actually be recording again. It's been I recorded and put up on YouTube was in March. So literally right at the beginning of lockdown. I think we were about 2 weeks in, 2 or so weeks in, and I was talking about life in lockdown. I spoke on the U version devotionals, which I had been finding really useful with regards to just keeping anxiety levels at bay and just generally kind of helping me to keep calm and keep sane in the whole lockdown situation, because it definitely was a change to the way life had been normally. It was a drastic change. So I spoke a little bit about that in the life in lockdown video, and yeah, if you haven't yet watched it, then yeah, definitely go back, give it a watch, give it a like, thumbs up, subscribe to my channel as well if you haven't yet subscribed, and yeah, we'll get cracking. So in this video I'm going to be talking about courageous. If you follow me on Instagram, and if you're part of the mailing list, if you're on any of my socials really, then you would be aware that Courageous is the new e-devotional. It's basically a daily devotional that will be sent out to my male subscribers every day up until the 1st of January 2021. And it's something that I started last year, basically, this e-devotional up and running into the new year. So last year's e-devotional was called Reset, and it was just about resetting ourselves mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to be able to enter into this year. And when I was even looking back at it, a lot of the things that I wrote about in the Reset devotional pertain to our thoughts, and how much our thoughts have an effect on the way we act, on the way we react, on the way we respond. And to be fair, it was definitely quite pertinent for what lay ahead in this year, because of course no one was to even know that the majority of 2020 will be spent in lockdown, indoors, dependent on like where you work. No one just knew 2020 would be like this. And a lot of the things that I do know plenty of people had to deal with this year were their thoughts, because thoughts were spiraling. So essentially I do feel that the Reset devotional definitely did have some gravitas in that sense. And especially after there has been trouble, after there's been difficulty, a lot of people operate from a place of fear, because especially now it's difficult to plan things. Essentially I even had plans with some of my girls for the weekend, but due to the new different lockdown levels and the tier system, those plans just straight up cancelled. So it's quite difficult to plan. And for the most part, when people feel a lack of control, they start to feel a little bit fearful, a bit anxious, because it's like, okay, what's going to happen? Anything can happen. I'm not going to be prepared for it, etc. But, you know, 2020 has shown us we can't be the king or the queen of everything. We can't control anything. We can't control anything, to be honest, at the end of the day. And that's one of the reasons why I thought it would be good for me to kind of write on the topic of being courageous. So and that's one of my own personal keywords for Twitch. And I had to look at different areas in my life where I've potentially held myself back due to fear. And that could be fear of rejection, that could be fear of failure, that could be fear of people's opinions, that could be fear of, something going wrong and something happening and feeling hurt. All different kinds of fear. But one thing I've definitely learned is fear and faith, they're not in the same category at all. And freedom essentially is at the other end of fear. And once you are in that freedom, you really will be thinking, oh my gosh, why did I hold myself back for so long? Because at the end of the day, irrespective of what anyone says, we as in us as individuals, we are the ones that hold ourselves back the most. Like, you will have praying, you got good people around you, but essentially the people around you are kind of most likely propelling you, like, go on, go for it, do it. They're encouraging you, they're affirming you positively, they're telling you the truth and love, they're doing all of that kind of stuff. But it's the thoughts that we have in our own minds that kind of hold us back. And I've been in that situation as well. so many times. Like, there's so many things that I could have just gone and done, and even though I have managed to do it in the end, it's just taken me way longer than it could have because of fear. So 2021, I'm saying, all right, you have to be courageous. And to be honest with you, I'm not waiting until 2021 to start that. I have started being courageous in different aspects of my life. And there's one thing to note here: courageous, courage, bravery, boldness, they mean different things to different people dependent on the individual circumstances. So a few weeks back on my Instagram, I had a little question time poll thing, and I asked people, what does the word courageous mean to you? And I had a variety of different responses. People said being courageous means doing something that you've been holding off for so long. Other people said letting go of fear. Other people again said just being brave, being bold. So the general consensus was about doing something that's kind of been holding you back. And courage and being courageous, they can take on different forms. So for one person, being courageous could be driving again after a traumatic accident, and that's kind of, held someone crippled because they're just so fearful of being out on the road again. So courage could be like, driving again. That's correct. That's courage for someone. For someone else, courage could be applying for that job again. So you may have been applying for role after role after role, and you're getting rejection after rejection after rejection, and you may have even thought to yourself, I can't do this anymore. But courage could be essentially going on that job board, talking to that recruiter, picking up your CV again and trying again. That is courage to someone. Being courageous could mean, telling that person that you have feelings for them. And that could be fearful for someone, because it's like, oh my gosh, if I tell him, if I tell her that I like them, what are they going to say? What if they say, you've got this all wrong? Like, I really wasn't trying to be giving you that kind of vibe. And, what if you're just there like, like, you just never know. But that's being courageous, because in asking that specific question to that individual, you're able to move on with your life. Because let's say the person comes back and it's like, no, I'm not able to be in a relationship with you for XYZ, or I'm not feeling you like that, or you picked up on the wrong vibes. The freedom is there for you in that sense, because it enables your heart and yourself to move on from the situation. Because if you didn't ask, you could have potentially just been kind of going on and on and on. And that's how, years go by, and, in your mind, you think that something is happening between the both of you, and nothing's really not. So that could be courage for someone. Other examples of being courageous could be, going back to study, you know, that side hustle that you've been just sitting on, that idea you've been sitting on for so long, launching it. For some people, maybe it's a bit difficult in this circumstance, but it could be leaving that job to full time focus on your side hustle. It could just be it could be many things to different people. We all have different lives, we all have different things we're focusing on. So courage is not kind of, okay, but just because it means one thing to me, it's going to mean that same thing to someone else. It depends on yourself, it depends on your individual circumstance. But one thing about courage is that definitely going to require something of you. Because if you weren't fearful about it, if you weren't nervous about it, if you weren't thinking about it and, having all these kind of thoughts, like when I say thoughts, I mean thoughts such as, oh, I don't know what to do. Like, if you weren't questioning it, etc., then it wouldn't be something that you're kind of afraid of. So courage definitely requires something on your part. It requires a strength that you don't have. It requires you to lean on a stronger power than you, that is the Lord. You're gonna have to call out to God. You're gonna have to trust in God. You're gonna have to know that irrespective of the courageous step I'm about to take, God, I trust that you are good, and I trust that you will work all things out for good for me, because I love you, because I trust you, because I serve you. Because it's really important to know that just because you are courageous, it doesn't necessarily mean that things are always going to be top ship shape, amazing, perfect. Like, you could be courageous, take the step, apply for the job again, apply for another job, and you can still get rejected. And that is the reality of it. But the fact of the matter is that you've taken that step. And one thing I'd definitely like to say is, when you think about doing all these different courageous things, every time that, you know, a disappointment may come, yeah, that's absolutely fine. No one's telling you to not even feel that disappointment. Yes, feel the disappointment. Yes, you may feel the hurt, you may feel the shame, you may feel whatever it is, but you don't dwell in that space, you don't live in that space. That's the time you feel your feels, like definitely feel your feels, because that's another thing when it comes to being courageous. A lot of the time people are afraid to feel their feelings, they just want to like quickly mask it up and move on. But sometimes being courageous means sitting down with yourself and being honest with yourself and exploring how you feel. That can be hard for some people. It can be hard to really process how you feel. So that in itself could be a being at those, but don't stay there. Get back up again. And that's another thing about courage. Courage is getting back up again after a fall, after that breakup, after that rejection, after that, you know, that doctor's report, after whatever it is that may not have turned out how you want it. Courage is taking that step again, getting back up again, taking the duvet off your head and getting out of bed again. You know, that is courage. So that's what I'm saying, in that I think sometimes people may feel as though they're not doing courageous things because it's not necessarily monumentous, it's not necessarily groundbreaking to others, but it could be groundbreaking to you. So don't compare yourself to the next person. Everybody's race is different, everybody's way of being courageous is different. Just know that courage. So I think I'm gonna leave it there for now. It has been nice having this little chit chat with you. I really do hope and pray that you join us on this journey. So if you do want to take part in it, then all you have to do is visit www.beadcrown.com, and on the main page there will be a link where you can sign up to our mailing list. So definitely feel free to do that. I'll actually put all the links in the description bar below, so it's easier for you to access. Feel free to join, tell someone that you know would benefit from it, you know, share it. It's open to all, there's no category, it's open to everyone. At the end of the day, it's about taking those steps that we need to take in our faith. It's about being courageous, it's about trusting God more, it's about walking on water. You know, it's about all these different things. Let's stop living in fear. Let us no longer be subject to the bondage that fear brings. Like fear, it's like fear and confusion and doubt, all of that stuff. No, we want to be free from them. God has already given us the liberty, he's given us freedom, he's given us peace. It's now up to us to take hold of it, to grasp it, to walk in it. So let's not be held back by fear. Let's be courageous people, using wisdom, of course. So yeah, that's going to be it from me on this side. And I just realized I don't even know if I explained to you why I'm wearing this. So I had a work Christmas party and I was wearing this for the virtual Christmas party. So I thought, oh, this is quite cute. So I thought I'd wear it for this video as well. And stay safe however you're celebrating. Stay safe. Remember that Jesus definitely loves you, and remember to hold on to hope. Let's not let these times bring us down. Where you can show love to people, show love to people. Don't withhold showing love to the people that are around you. A lot of times people think they have to do, again, all of this huge acts. No, sometimes your circle, if it's showing love to them, show love to them. Don't withhold it. Whatever you can do, be kind, and where you can live at peace with people, live at peace with. Okay, so let's be safe, let's use wisdom, let's be courageous, and I'll be speaking to you again very soon.